Hello and welcome. I'm Ruthie Cohen-Joyner with yourtappingjourney.com, and you're listening to the first of 6 recordings entitled The 5 Essential Keys to Ending Emotional Eating. I'm assuming, if you're listening to this, that you consider yourself to be an emotional or binge eater, a person who uses food to deal with life. And I can promise you that this way of taking care of yourself started with good intention and helped you get through some really rough times in your life. However, maybe today you're ready to learn new, empowering ways to take care of yourself. And that is what the series is all about. Creating a loving relationship with food, your weight, and your body. And it is a lifelong spiritual journey. It's about releasing the story and the cultural expectations that have held you back from being the best you can possibly be. In this series of 6 recordings, I'll share with you the skills that I have learned over the past 4 decades that are essential to becoming the beautiful, precious person that you are meant to be. This is about your journey home, your journey back to you. I hope you find this series meaningful and enlightening. Now, these 5 keys are not given in a linear order. I've simply used the acronym MEALS, MEALS, to make it easier to remember, but the keys are actually fluid and overlapping. So let's get started. Our first key is mothering yourself. This key is about learning how to treat yourself with love and compassion and tenderness, being patient and gentle with yourself. This is not about your real mother, although healing your relationship with your real mother may be a part of it. It's really much more about learning to comfort and soothe yourself when you need that. It's learning to create a more loving, soothing way of being with yourself and doing this with or without food. The idea is not to take food off the table, but to consider that there are many other options and ways of taking care of yourself when you feel sad or lonely or just need a friend. More on this in our second recording. Our second key is about learning to express yourself, finding you, the real you, the spiritual essence of you, and what really lights you up are essential for your growth and happiness. Too many of us were shut down by our families, our culture, and or our lack of self-esteem or self-worth. So what is your thing? Is it creating a lovely space, dancing, drawing, painting, sculpting, jewelry, yoga, cooking amazing meals? What is it that lights you up, that really sets you on fire, that really allows you to connect to your higher self, and what puts you in the flow, raises your energy? It is essentially giving the gift of you to yourself and to the world. Thirdly is assertiveness. Anita Johnson, the author of the glorious book, Eating in the Light of the Moon, says learning to find your voice and speak up is the one thing that is absolutely crucial in healing all types of disordered eating. My understanding is that she feels that no one truly heals their relationship with their body and food and moves forward into a fulfilling life without this one skill. And I personally find it to be the hardest skill to learn and to practice regularly. For those of us who have stuffed down who we really are for so long, we might not even know who we are or what it is we want or what it is we want to say. So finding your own voice and speaking your truth is a lifelong journey of healing and self-discovery, my friend. It is challenging for many of us, but it is oh so worth it. Fourth is growing self-love and self-acceptance. I hate it when people say something like, just love yourself. Like that's so easy when you've hated yourself or judged yourself so harshly for years or even decades. Growing self-love and self-acceptance need to be happening in a gentle, loving way. My little saying is self-love is your personal miracle. And I totally believe that. And yet it doesn't happen overnight. It requires compassion and gentleness for yourself. No judging yourself for judging yourself. You're learning to turn the volume down on the inner critic and to create a more loving, gentle voice. And last, but certainly not least, is letting go of the victim story. It's letting go of being a victim. We've all had bad stuff happen in our lives. And learning to heal those painful events is necessary. We all need to do it. I highly recommend doing the healing work that is necessary, whatever that is for you. So maybe it's a horrible relationship with a critical or judgmental parent, or a major loss in your life, or maybe there is or was abuse, sexual, physical, emotional, or some combination of abuse, neglect, or mistreatment. We all need to acknowledge the pain of the past. It needs to be heard and it needs to be healed. But I really want you to hear me on this. I honor you and I honor your story. However, I want you to stop telling the story. Stop telling it over and over. Let go of being a victim. Learn from it and release it with love into the past. Now is your time to reclaim your power and create a new story, a story of overcoming the past instead of letting it define you in the present. In the last recording in this series, we'll be using my belief cloak process to create a more loving and accepting way of being with ourselves. Well, I've shared with you what I've learned from my own journey and that of the hundreds of precious women that I've worked with over the years. The 5 keys are mothering yourself, expressing yourself, asserting yourself, learning to love and accept yourself, and letting go of your victim story. You can do this. Together, we got this. I really hope you'll check out the next 5 recordings in this series where we'll go in depth into some of these so you can get started with learning some of these skills. So thank you so much for joining me today. Blessings to you all. Namaste.